Hi travelers, it is the day before Turkey Day and I'm going to bring you a short open reading to kind of maybe get you guys through this. I know that some of you may be traveling. I know that others of you may be having family members come over. The holidays can be a very, very stressful time for people. So I'm going to pull a few cards and see what we have going on. It's just going to be a quick reading because I myself have to start my dinner, prepare my dinner. This is a rather bittersweet time for me. There were supposed to be other plans for me this holiday season. So let me light a candle here. I have not forgotten, for those of you who are our website members, that I will be providing you with instructions on how to make a lamp. And I will include, I found a really great site to purchase herbs from. There's one site that mostly everybody gets their stuff from. I did not have a very good experience with them, and I found another place. Their shipping is very fast. You get tracking, and you get way more for the amount of money. So once I get that done, I will have, that information for you. Anyway, I spent the past few days making my own incense. So that's what I'm doing right now. I just put that out by accident. But anyway, let's go ahead and lay the cards. Seven of Pentacles. The Magician. The Ace of Coins. Wow, that's pretty good. The Four of Pentacles. The Three of Cups. Isn't that interesting? Well, here's this Eight of Cups. The Strength card, so I have two eights, two fours. Here's the Four of Pentacles. And a Knight. Well, isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? Well, whatever it is, stop worrying about it. This is our overall energy. It's not the end of the spread, that Nine of Swords. That nine tells me that for many of you, there's a situation that you're very worried about. It's giving you nightmares. You're very anxious about it. You're fearful about it. Indeed, for some of you, it may be keeping you up at night. I have two major arcana cards here. I have the Magician and the Strength card, which represents the sign of Leo. The Magician represents the planet of Mercury. So this is both Gemini and Virgo. Virgo is about the details. Gemini is about the message. Mercury is exalted in Virgo, meaning it operates at its highest level. There, we do know that we have just entered the Mercury retrograde phase. It is starting to slow down. I think for many of you, this is it's not more or less like a in one respect, it's sort of like a now or never moment in one respect. For many of you, I do feel, but at the same time, do know that whatever the situation is speaking about, that it is going to go backwards and forwards until probably the middle or the end of January. In other words, if there are any negotiations or contracts or business deals or partnerships that are coming together of, know that these things can go backwards and forwards. In other words, you can sign a contract and then the terms will change, or You sign a contract and you change your mind and you find out that you can't get out of it, or there's some penalty to get out of it, or could be about meeting someone and joining forces together, but there's some kind of holdup on it. There's some details that aren't really there. But yet what we see is that here with this Ace of Pentacles is that it really is an opportunity. The Seven of Pentacles, seven speak to an internal conflict. In other words, for me, this is what the card is telling me, is that for many of you, you are at a place now where you are at a moment where all of the hard work that you have put in, you're kind of waiting for that harvest to come in. You're waiting for that news, that message, that idea to come in. You've been really putting the pedal to the metal and focused on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, as above, so below. So this is about really, really focusing your will and your intent. Now, if this involves, which I do see, it involves other people here. The Three of Cups in the center. Threes are the start of something. This is two things coming together to make a third thing. So, you know, sometimes the Three of Cups is about a new baby coming. It is about a graduation. It is about it's some type of accomplishment, something that you can celebrate. For some of you, this could be getting your first home. For others of you, this could be about an engagement or a marriage that is pending, a proposal that is coming. Or for others of you, this could literally be, I don't see, this is the only wands here. So there are coins here. So for others of you, this could be some type of gain financially and or on the physical level. The two fours speak to a possible change of address, right? Let me give you these. Hold on. Let me give you these two fours. But it also speaks to a safe and secure period of time. Okay. Why is that? Because you've really been putting in the work. You have decided to either do things differently or grasp some opportunity that has come. And in effect, this is sort of that Seven Pentacles. I've been, you know, working really hard. I've got all of these things lined up, and now I've got this Seventh Pentacle that has come in. What do I do with it? This is really an opportunity. And depending on how I focus my energies, my will and my intent, even if that means I've got to join forces with somebody else, how I do that, how I focus on that is really going to bring about a new opportunity for me to either take a different path, okay, or to create some new gain or benefit on the material level. For many of you, this could be very well about finances. But what do we know? We know that Mercury is going into retrograde shadow phase. So this is a time where if things have come to a standstill, or if things are a little bit hazy or a little bit sketchy, slow down. Know that the work that you have already put in is solid, but you can always go back and perhaps retweak some things. This would be a great time to pick up old projects that you had put aside before. Look at those again, work on those, and be prepared to perhaps bring those forth or into the light after the Mercury retrograde. Okay, so this is going to be near the end of January. For others of you, something new has come in, something that you've been diligently working on, or you've been applying yourself to in a sense, positive manner. And now the Four says we're waiting. We're waiting. There is some kind of celebration here. Perhaps for some of you, some news has already come in prior to this, during this retrograde shadow phase. And when I say that, it takes a planet 2 weeks before it actually slows down, right? And that means that messages may be slow, or messages may be lost, or things just aren't quite going the way. This could be scattered thoughts or scattered energy. We see now that for some of you, I do sense that for some of you, staying where you are and holding your position is a good thing, but yet we see this Eight of Cups, okay? And that, I think, is a pivotal card. I think for some of you, whatever this, you're going to have to pass up this particular opportunity. Why? Because maybe now is not the time. 2 8s speak to one of you needing to spend more time alone. I believe that's right. Um, let me the other says you're going to receive news that will affect the relationship. Now, whether this is a romantic relationship, a business relationship, a familial relationship, um, maybe this could be about adoption. Maybe some of you wanted to adopt a child, and you find out that due to perhaps government circumstances or paperwork, maybe somebody lost the paperwork, that you don't get to bring the kid here when you want to. Maybe you wanted to have the child in your home by Thanksgiving. Again, there's this thing of the harvest. You see those grapes there? Of really being so joyful and so grateful that you're going to be adding this new person into your family, and you've been, everybody's expecting it to happen, and you've been really working hard on getting everything ready, and then suddenly you may find out that there's something wrong with the paperwork, or they've lost the paperwork, or the weather's bad, because a lot of times Mercury retrograde can bring about bad weather. And so the travel, maybe you had to travel to go pick the kid up. Maybe you had to travel to another country, to another state to pick the child up. And then, you can't now because the weather's bad. Your flight's been canceled. So let's see here what this other 8. It also tells that there's a slight concern in regards to a new romance, relationship, or partnership. That would still qualify for the adoption of a child. That's a new partnership. That's a new relationship coming in. And there's a slight concern. Maybe the paperwork got lost. Maybe the paperwork was filled out incorrectly. Maybe the person who has to sign off is sick and they're not in the office and they won't be back until after the holidays. So this could play out for many of you in lots of different ways. Let me see if I can, the 8 of Cups next to the Magician, here it is. Tells of someone who has within his grasp the ability to reach his goals. It is informing you that you have the ability to reach your full potential. It also asks that you think and consider very carefully before making any important or major decisions. Do not allow others to sway or hinder you, as only you know what's right for you. So stick to your guns. I think that's a very, very important message there that is coming out. Because we see if you do that, and sometimes this has to be, this could be you having to drop somebody from a group just to stick to your guns. And if you can do that, you're going to be, in a sense, it's going to carry you through. Now, this Knight of Cups always speaks to me of some kind of event coming in. So this is either some situation that presents itself. It could be a person. Most card readers will traditionally tell you that this is a possible lover showing up in your life, but this is a tentative thing. It's a knight. This person does not show up as a king, as a knight. The Knight of Cups is somebody who can be very charming, very seductive, very beautiful, very handsome, very adept at really bringing about a very strong and positive, feel-good kind of emotional situation, but it's tentative. So this person is fickle. And if this is a situation, this is saying that the situation may not be as fulfilling as you think it's going to be. That's what I'm trying to come up. Now, let me see if I can pull up anything related to these pentacles hanging around the Magician. The 7 of Pentacles by the Magician. Let's see if it tells us anything. Or even being associated with the Strength card. No, there's nothing. Let's go to the 4 of Pentacles next to the Magician and or the Strength. The 4 of Pentacles next to the 7. is a message to proceed with your plans and goals as success is around you. Take advantage of this prosperous time. So I really feel that for some of you, this is speaking about whatever plans. Maybe you had some plans on hold. Um, Now is the time to kind of work on those. Um, I do sense maybe for some of you, you might be celebrating a bit too early. So again, this is I think kind of saying that even though you're in a very, very good spot, you might have to walk away from something or let something go, or you might have to put another project away so that you can focus on something new. Why? Because we see that it's something new has definitely come in here. We see that. Um, Let me see if I can pull up the Four of Wands here. What this tells us, if anything at all. Now, it's not next to the Magician, but it's being influenced by the Magician. It tells of new ideas, projects, and goals, original ideas and concepts and projects coming in. Nothing next to the Strength card. Let's go to the Three of Cups to see if the Three of Cups tells us anything next to either the Magician and or the Strength card. No, there's nothing. So a safe and secure time period, the two fours, the two eights, that's what I wanted to look at for you here while I'm here. Oh, it's a slight concern. I gave you that. Now, let me go to the secondary meaning here. Two fours speak of house repairs or looking to move house. And maybe some of you really do that. You just finally just get up the gumption to just do it. Remember I said this could be about perhaps getting a new home. Maybe for some of you, this is about purchasing your first home. And then the two eights, it says you will receive news that affects the relationship. No matter how this is playing out, we see that in walking away from something, it's not that you're walking away from it. This is not what I'm picking up. I'm not picking up that you're walking away or that someone is walking away from you because they no longer love you or they no longer care for you. To me, this is speaking to the concept or the idea that they're looking for something else. They're on a quest to find more fulfillment or better fulfillment. And maybe this is you. Maybe you yourself have to walk away from a situation because it's no longer fulfilling to you. And you are carrying your cup with you. Okay? Because, you know, no matter what, that's a Nine of Cups. So for some of you that you're worried about something, don't worry too much, but don't spend any time in this negative Nine of Swords energy. Really stay focused no matter what comes up, no matter what happens. Expect the unexpected with the Mercury retrograde. Just expect it. Try to remain flexible. Keep your schedules as open as possible. Focus on those things that you can focus on. Do those things that you need to do. Allow other people to do whatever they need to do. And if something, you've been waiting on some news, or if you've been, waiting for something to move forward, again, know that this situation will go back and forth. Okay, it's not set in stone. Things will be changing. There's flux. We see these cards of movement here. Okay. For some of you, this could be the idea that some project that you wanted really doesn't go the way that you want it to. But if it doesn't, that's for a reason. Okay, because there's something else or someone new coming in, perhaps some new partnership that is coming in. Definitely some new message or news and or event. I'm going to look at that Knight of Cups. Now, what I want to do, for some of you, let's look at the timing around this full moon that's coming between these moon cycles here. I'm going to say the whole month. For some of you, this could be a situation in which it's something to do with the eclipse, the last eclipse we had, August 21st. The reason why I say that, this is the only eclipsed moon in the deck. We have these discs here. So this could be, let's say, something that you thought was dead comes back. Or something that has been going around and around and around in circles. You now realize you're going to have to just leave it alone. Okay. Yes, whatever this news is, it will be coming in quite quickly. And what I mean by that is around this time frame. And the reason why, this pumpkin just leaped out at me here. So maybe Halloween, but also we look at, you see the fruits, the type of fruits, these are fall fruits waiting for the harvest. And that's what the Thanksgiving is all about. It is about the harvest, the bounty that has come in. You see? So for some of you, these next few days, I think for some of you, it's going to be good. For some of you, it may be a bit jarring is not the right word. Disappointment is not even the right word. I'm going to say a letdown. Okay, that happened. I focused all of my energy. I really had my heart set on that. But, you know, this is asking you to maintain your strength and not allow your emotions to get away from you, if you can help it. I would dare say that if you are worried about something, do not worry. We know that old saying, everything happens for a reason. Well, when we're in the thick of something bad happening, don't nobody want to hear that crap, right? We just want to know how to fix something. But at the same time, everything does happen for a reason, and those reasons can be unbeknownst to us. That doesn't mean that because we don't see the outcome or we don't understand what's happening, doesn't mean that the universe is working something out for us in a different way. Now, for some of you, this Four of Pentacles can be the card of the miser. This is about, sometimes this could be about protecting your property, or even your physical body, hanging on to those resources that you have right now before you invest them in anything else. This three could be saying that, yeah, out of that you get something, but you also lose something. I mean, it's one of those, not necessarily that you lose something, but you have to, you go back down to this Five of Cups. There are the three cups. Here are the three cups sitting here. It's like you added it to whatever these five cups were, but in the end, it still wasn't what you were looking for. So, again, disappointment is not necessarily the right word, but that's kind of what it reads like. That Four of Pentacles can also be the card of somebody who's not willing to share their resources with you. You know, no matter what those resources are. This could be you meeting somebody and maybe they've got the key or the other half to whatever this project is that you're working on, and they don't want to hear it. They don't know, I'm going to go ahead and do it by myself. You know, because we see there's an offer here, and there's a hesitancy, I think, about accepting it. I dare say that for some of you, if you wait too long, that offer is going to keep going. It's tentative right now. Let's take a look at, I want to look at this Four of Pentacles. Things could be held up. Now, why could things be held up? Because there's somebody working against you. Now, this could be a romantic situation, but it could also be somebody that you work with, okay? Somebody in your work environment, somebody who has to, in some sense, has something to do with finances. This could be, like I said, a project. I only have this one Wands card here. But this is finding out, the new discovery, that there's been somebody who's been thwarting you all along, in whatever manner this means. And so I think, you know, there's that saying or that thing where, you know, some people just don't like to see other people get ahead. And this could be that. This could be somebody in your midst who is, you just made the discovery that this person really has had it in for you, or is very jealous of you, or, and it's somebody who's been working in, this is the rival, or the woman who works in secret. So this is somebody who has perhaps been behind the scenes, and maybe this is about telling you to be cautious during this time, to go slowly, because you're going to discover who that person is. And it would, I would dare say, be somebody that you consider to be a friend, but you find out quite suddenly, well, that person really wasn't your friend, and the card's telling you to drop their asses like a hot potato and stay focused on what it is you're supposed to be doing. I think that for some of you, you already have a sneaking suspicion that somebody's been trying to block you or thwart you or in some way. That message may, a lot of times, you know, I will tell you guys, well, you know, you don't have all of the information during a Mercury retrograde. Sometimes it can work the opposite. It just depends. Things that have been hidden will come to light. And all of a sudden you make a discovery. And you're like, oh shit, that's why, you know, things haven't been going the way. You find out that there's been somebody behind the scenes that's just been, you know, being shady. The Limoneo. The conversation. Pleasant conversations. And the Superbia. And what this was some kind of bond, commitment, or contract that was in negotiation here. You see, that's pleasant. But then due to somebody's arrogance or their vanity and or their pride, okay, or simply the fact that maybe they just thought they were better than you, or they felt that you were better than them and wanted to knock you down a peg. But some people are just like that for whatever reason. They ain't got shit going on in their own lives, so they just try to put their fingers in everybody else's pie. Let's take a look at this magician, because he sits at the top of the spread. And this is the as above, so below. Now, the overall energy is this Nine of Swords. In other words, you guys have been really worried. I do sense that a lot of you think that this person, you have a suspicion, you know who the person is, you suspected it all along. Perhaps you weren't sure. Many of you, this may have come about, you may have discovered who that person is, and you're like, I can't believe all this time I trusted that person and they've been screwing me over all this time. They've had it out for me all this time. They've been spreading lies or talking behind my back, or, you know, undermining me in some way, or working against me. Vedovo, the man tied to his past. Domestico, well. And the Allegrezza al cuore. Huh. And again, the message is, this is someone I think who's trying to change something having to do with their past, perhaps a past relationship. And they're having difficulty getting through that. Now, the domestico is a helper, okay? So this could even be someone who has come into the picture to help you. But there's something about the past, a female in their past. This could be an employee, a boss, a family member, a past relationship. But then the domestico can sometimes be the collaborator. And here we have the allegrezza al cuore, the happiness of the heart. Now these are two negative cards with a positive card on the magician. So someone really trying to focus their will and intent, this being tied to the past. Maybe they're trying to get over that. And maybe they've been doing things kind of behind the scenes to try to change the energy around this situation. Okay? Now, for some of you, this may be unbeknownst to you. And maybe this is what comes to light. This could even be about a man who's trying to move forward into a new phase in his life, but he got some chick that he can't get rid of. You know? It doesn't read like stalker energy, but it reads like somebody who just has it in, and they're trying to really thwart. This is the reason why things aren't moving. But then, if we look at the time frame of this Mercury retrograde, you can use this to your advantage. You can use this delay to your advantage. No matter who you are and what the situation is about. And this is going to apply whether this is same-sex, heterosexual. This is going to apply whether this is romance, business, friendship, family. It's going to apply across the board. The three Lenormand cards that have come out. This is an emotionally significant event here. Here is the stork. Now, in the Lenormands, the stork can be about the return of someone. Storks always come back home to the same place to nest and to roost. But the stork also brings about changes and good news. And typically this is something for the better. So in one respect, I think that the key says it's fated and or it's destiny. It's highly significant and very, very important. So however this plays out, what you want to do is to, if there are any delays, if there are any conflicts of interest, if there, take a step back, slow down, and figure out how you can use this particular, whatever this thing is, to your advantage. It may not, I'm not telling you to go out and be crappy. If somebody's crappy to you, you don't have to go out and be crappy to them. That's really a waste of energy. That's the way I see it. You know, you do whatever you want. You're a grown-ass person. To me, if somebody's doing me crappy, then what I do is I just ignore that person, okay? And I focus on the positive things that I want to, because I have a choice on how I can react to that. I can't control whatever they do. Only thing I can do is control myself. And if I can keep control of myself and maintain my focus and energy, I can just kind of sail through this, no matter what the outcome, right? So even if I don't get that particular situation, if it doesn't come about the way that I wanted it to or expected it to, if I'm focused on something else, controlling whatever it is that I do and focusing my energy towards that, I'm going to still end up getting something out of it, right? Because I choose to direct my energies in a different place. Does that make any sense to you guys? Now, I'm going to pull Sabila's on this Knight of Cups, because this is our outgoing energy. It's almost like, you know, it's that Asclepius energy. And I think all this week, the Transit Watch, I don't know, you guys that are members and have seen the Transit Watch posted for this week, Asclepius is playing a big role. And Asclepius speaks to situations that are being brought back to life. Now, it's in Aquarius, I do believe. Aquarius rules friends, groups, networks. Um, so this could be, you know, what did Asclepius do? He resurrected people from the dead, right? He resurrected people from the dead. He snatched the souls away from Pluto. This is somebody operating in their Pluto energy in a very, very negative space. Pluto doesn't always have to be negative, but some people don't know how to handle Pluto energy. Okay. And so you have those people out there who are just dark vortexes of black hole sucking energy. All right. Well, you can either tiptoe up to that and get sucked in, or you can just move away from it. Right. But Asclepius and Pluto, that was nephew. Pluto was, Asclepius is the nephew of Pluto. Why? Because Pluto and Jupiter were brothers. But Pluto's job was to take people to the underworld. He was to, that's where they went. They went and lived with him when they died, to Hades. But Asclepius saved them. He resurrected them. He healed them. He brought them back. So there was a huge fight between Asclepius and Pluto, where Jupiter had to come in and change and alter that situation. He had to work those things out. So this could be literally situations coming back from the past so that they can be healed and you can move on from them. Okay. Or this could be you showing up to help somebody because it might be some kind of past life credit or past life debt. Say, for instance, you went through a divorce 15 years ago and your friend was there to help you through that divorce. Well, now your friend is going through a divorce, and guess what? You haven't heard from your friend in 15 years, but you guys, for whatever reason, happen to run across each other, and now you're in a position to help your friend like they helped you 15 years ago. And that person is in the past. So this could even be about two old enemies coming back together in effect to kind of heal that situation. Maybe you find out that the person really hasn't changed. Maybe you find out the person you thought was your friend really wasn't your friend. They, like I said, they've had it in for you all along. And you discover that. This doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. The heart just speaks to love. This is not the commitment card in the Lenormands. That's the ring. That's what you want to see. So this is about love and emotion and affection. Those harmonious feelings. That's the Venus card, right? All right. So let's, I would dare say, don't worry. Because sometimes what you can do, as above, so below. There's that 10 of Wands. That 10 says that it is, oh, look what's underneath there. That this situation is changing. You just have to wait a little while longer. Remember, I was talking about the moons? So we just had the full moon in Scorpio. The new moon, I'm sorry, it moved from Scorpio to Sagittarius. We know that Mercury is in Sagittarius, slowing down. We know that Saturn is in Sagittarius. Wherever Saturn sits, it brings about limitations, bindings, constrictions, slow movement. Sagittarius rules the law, people at a distance. This could be about going back to college. This could be about launching a website, writing a book, publishing. It could be about a religious, meeting a guru or meeting a teacher. It could be about anything, but because the Mercury is there, it's kind of playing havoc with all of the messages that you're getting. So I want you to, you know, maintain your own strength, maintain your own faith. Do not listen to what other people tell you, those naysayers. This could be just somebody jumping up trying to thwart you. Okay, remember what the 8 of Cups next to the Magician says. It says, do not listen to what other people are telling you. Particularly those people who, because there's somebody in your midst who does not have your best interest at heart, okay? And you may discover this by just staying, you know, focused. I had so many people tell me when I wanted to start my website, that shit ain't gonna work. Some other readers tried that and it didn't go well. Well, that's some other reader. That ain't me. And had I listened to them and bought into that negative script that these people were telling me, okay, then I would never have built my website. So sometimes you have to detach yourself away. Don't make any big decisions, but simply work. Just work on whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, because you have the power and the ability to do that. It's almost within reach. Okay. And a lot of times that means that you're going to have to leave some people behind, but it's like, hey, you know, sometimes you got to do that. Okay. So here is the, and the main person that was telling me my shit wasn't going to work. Well, anyway, that didn't work. But I'm going to tell you something. It's a lot of work, my website. For all of the work that I do, the articles, the things that I bring up, the charts, the technical part, bringing up products, trying to keep the information fresh and new and engaging, in addition to all the types of readings that I offer. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy what I do. I don't enjoy doing a lot of work. Who the hell likes to work a lot? But when you do something that you really, really enjoy, it's not like work. You know what I mean? And so I enjoy what I do. I absolutely love what I do. It's interesting, it's new, it's fresh. I meeting people, listening to the stories, the lessons that I learned. Don't think that I'm not getting anything out of the readings. I always get, you know, something out of some of the readings that I do for people, you know, but it's that actual somebody who says to me, you know, it really helped me. You know, it gave me the strength to move through whatever it is I'm going through. That's all I want. You know, that makes me feel good. That's how I keep my cup filled, you know, in terms of doing the work. So it makes me want to get up and do it again. Some days I might be griping about it, but, you know, I get up and I do it because I really enjoy it. I get excited about it. So I'm learning some magic, you guys. I've been uh, doing, studying magic. So that's great. I love that. Look, it says you're ready. Sheila, see? This looks like you're reading all over again. So let's see if this is the romance angels. Let's see what if this is about. We can say that's a general answer. And for some of you, if this is about a romance thing, let's see what the card has to say. Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. I keep telling you that Mercury retrograde, whatever this thing is that is vexing you at this moment, turn that negative into a positive and focus that energy on something else, because the situation will change. We see that 10 of Wands. We see that. Yeah, okay, well, that 9, whatever, that crap, that 8 of Cups, whatever, something else is coming though. Just wait and focus on, do something positive for yourself. All right, let's read the You're Ready card. That's a great reading, and I'm glad I could bring it to you. All your past experiences have led to this moment. You've studied and grown spiritually in many ways. There is nothing more to do. You're ready to move forward and to embrace the person you know in your heart you are meant to be. The world is anxiously awaiting the contributions that following your life purpose will provide. You may have to put yourself first in this situation. It's time to do what is right for you. Leave the naysayers. Leave the naysayers, because they don't mean you any good. Very soon. This card asks you, what do you want? And demands very clear and specific answers. Just like putting in your order at a restaurant, the universe has been listening to your thoughts and feelings about your love life and has brought you what you asked for. However, when you complain about what's served to you, it's only because you placed an unclear order. As soon as you are perfectly straightforward about what it is you desire, it comes to you upon the wings of angels in an instant. You drew this card because it's time for you to get clear and honest with yourself and formulate your request with faith and optimism. Trust your feelings and make decisions for yourself about what's best for you. I ain't got to say nothing else about that. That's what I have for you. I hope that message helps you move through this holiday season. And until next time, namaste. Oh, yeah. If you're interested in a reading or any of my products or services or joining the website for your free charts and all of the great articles, click on that little eye. It'll take you right on over. So until next time, namaste.